YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is Pinstar Plays Inscryption. So what is Inscryption? Well, it's made by Daniel Mullen Games. They're the people that did Pony Island. It is a deck builder, roguelike, horror, mystery ARG game. Lots of different things going on here. So I figure it comes out today, so I'd give you a little bit of a taste because it's grabbed my attention. I certainly enjoy it very much. So let's dive in, shall we? Now, just to give you a background here, I've actually played through quite a bit. I got early access, thank you to Devolver Digital. I have since reset my save data, so we're starting up a new file from square one, just so I don't. I was going to record where I was, but then I realized, I'm kind of in spoiler territory, because this game is just as much about the card game as it is the story. And I don't want to spoil anything for you, because it's a good story, at least the amount that I've seen so far. Now, funny that I should use the phrase, start a new game, because when you're brought to the game right here, you'll notice the new game button is not available. And that's not a glitch with the game. Well, if you've never played Pony Island, you'll notice that there's going to be a lot of glitches, quote unquote, but that is not because of bad coding. That is intentional design decisions to simulate that we are playing this game, but there's something wrong here. There's something wrong. So we have no choice, other than the options menu and credits and whatnot, to continue. Even though this is literally the first thing that we're doing in the game. Another challenger. It has been ages. Perhaps you have forgotten how this game is played. Allow me to remind you. Play the squirrel card. So we are dealt 4 cards, one of which is always a squirrel, and we have to choose a space to play it on. Now, play your stoat. So we have stoat here. Stoats cost 1 blood, shown right here on the card. Sacrifices must be made. So essentially it means that creatures that have a blood symbol, you need to sacrifice that many symbols. So 1 blood symbol, 1 sacrifice needed. So we are going to sacrifice the squirrel. An honorable death, play the stoat. So we've paid the cost for the stoat, we play the stoat. Wolves require 2 sacrifices. 2 blood symbols here. Ring the bell to end your turn. Your stoat stands unopposed. Number on the bottom left is the attack. Bottom right is their health. So an interesting method for handling damage and who wins is it's not like Magic the Gathering where each player has a fixed life total that could, go up or down. It is actually a scale. So I've dealt 1 damage, so the scale tips by 1. This is, I believe, 1, 2, yeah. You need 5 notches against your opponent before they get 5 notches against you. But you can start dealing copious amounts of damage to each other and keep tipping the scale back and forth, and nobody will win until you get a +5 on top of your opponent, or vice versa. Dink, like that. So yeah, that would be if I had 5 damage and he had none on me. So the other thing to note on here, again, drawing the Magic the Gathering comparisons, is that creatures don't have summoning sickness. They attack the turn you summon them. Also, he doesn't play by the same rules we do. He doesn't have to worry about sacrifices or playing costs. The type of creatures he plays are just sort of continuous, so we have to deal with that. So the coyote hit the stoat instead of us. So our stoat absorbed the blow, so we didn't get any notches on our scale, but now our stoat is low on health. Also note that our stoat did not do damage in return to him. This isn't, again, not like magic, where the creatures will both hit each other. It's whoever the attacker is gets to do their damage to the health, and not the other way around. Our turn again. So we can draw from the deck or draw a squirrel. So the stoat, the other thing we can see here is that we can see what he's going to play. So right now there's nothing on the board that would do that. Now I could grab a squirrel, play a squirrel. Now, squirrel by itself has no attack. Now, I could sacrifice both of these, because you don't just have to sacrifice squirrels to play a wolf. But our stoat can take out this coyote, and there's nothing that's about to kill him next turn. And if I get a second squirrel, I can keep the stoat around and play our wolf. So I'm going to do that. You know you can play more than one card, right? Because you are learning, I will pass. Another squirrel, please. And that way we don't have to sacrifice our stoat, and we keep that 1 point of damage on the board. Bing, bink. Dink, 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 dink. 4 damage dealt, 4 weights added to the 1 that we already have, and we have tipped the scales. You've won this match. Yeah, no, it won't be that easy. Oh, yes. You're lost deep in the forest. This is our first round, so the map is kind of like scripted here. They just want to teach us about all the different spaces. But as you do other playthroughs, the map becomes randomized. 2 denizens of the forest approach you tentatively. Caustic adder. Damage from its poison bite will always be lethal. So certain creatures, in addition to their power and toughness, will have certain abilities. This adder has death touch. So any damage it does to anything will kill it, regardless of that enemy's health. But it does cost 2 blood to sacrifice, so it's kind of expensive. The undying cat. Sacrificing the poor beast does not actually kill it. So just to remember, when we were sacrificing the squirrels, they went away after you sacrificed them. You can sacrifice the cat to use it to pay for a blood, but you get to keep the cat. Now granted, the cat's not a good combat thing and requires a sacrifice itself, but it's still really good. So I'm going to take the cat. So this first run through, I think some of the items or choices are scripted, but again, future run throughs are proper roguelike random. Came across an abandoned sack. You found a squirrel in a bottle. Break in case of emergency. So normally you can only draw 1 card per turn. These, card in a bottles let you basically take that card into your hand immediately. Another useful implement. I'll allow you to tip the scales with it. 3 as much as you can carry. Alright, so we got our items. Skull means it's battle time. Occasionally battles will have random pieces of terrain thrown on yours and or the enemy's side. These will get in the way of attacks, but don't attack themselves. You didn't sacrifice me? How kind, maybe. You'll help me. Take your turn. Play along for now. Yes, the card is talking to me. Again, I told you this is part card battler, part story. Why is the card talking? Well, we don't know. It's just talking to us. That's the only one of our cards that is talking to us right now. Now, you may now see my moves ahead of time. So we know that he's playing a wolf cub up here. It's not on the battlefield yet, but it's going to come up against our boulder. And it's going to have to get through that boulder before it can start doing anything to us. Alright, so we've got our squirrel, we've got our cat, and we've got the stoat. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play our squirrel. We're going to sacrifice our squirrel to the cat. And then we can sacrifice our cat to our stoat. Now the cat sticks around, so we can sacrifice it again. Now we can't. We could sacrifice the cat again and the stoat to get the river snapper, but or grab one of our free squirrels to get that out this turn. But it's more of a defensive unit, so I'm going to hold on to it. So we end our turn. Stoat does 1 damage. Mind the ambitious wolf cub. It ages swiftly. So its ability is that after 1 full turn, it becomes a stronger creature. So we'll have to be mindful of that. It's easier to kill it early, but I don't really have anything. I don't really have a position to kill it. All right, so now we have to make our choice here. Since we have so much sack fodder, I might want to draw. We have a wolf. Okay, that probably wasn't the best thing because, again, we'd have to nix the stoat. The creature being played here is the bat. It's flying, so it's going to actually fly over my stoat and hit me for 2, but I can take 2 damage. That's fine, and then our stoat will hit it back and knock it out. So that's not the end of the world, so you know what? I'm just going to grab one of my emergency squirrel rations. Play it. Sacrifice it and the cat. Play my wolf. Now, we're going to have to knock out the stump, but then afterwards we get another lane of attack. So yeah, the wolf cub turns into wolf. Airborne bat, yep, flies over. So I take 2. Now the scale is back to even. We are back to square one. All right. Yeah, let's get our last card here. Another wolf. I could sack the stoat and the cat to get the wolf on there, but I don't really need to because the stoat's going to kill the bat anyway. What I'll probably do is once this wolf knocks out this boulder, then I'll take that. Boom, boom. My wolf hit them unopposed, so I deal 3 there. All right, let's grab a squirrel. So now we play the squirrel. We play the wolf, sack the cat, sack the squirrel, play the wolf. And again, because my creature is the one that's attacking now, and it's the only, and it does its power equal to the toughness, but the other wolf won't hit me back. My wolf will kill the other wolf and still survive. And these 2 will deal 4 damage unopposed, which should win me the battle. Ding, ding, ding. And do a little overkill while we're at it. You prevailed and trekked onwards past the now bloodied terrain. Alright, next creature here. The young wolf club. It grows into a wolf after a single turn. Or the meek sparrow, an expensive, if feeble, flying creature. Yeah, let's go with the wolf cub. I like that. Now this space here. This is one of my favorite spaces. Stumble across some strange stones in the mist. You're compelled to choose a worthy sacrifice, one that will be lost forever. So you actually have to rip up one of your cards. In this case, we could either sack the cat or the wolf cub. I'm going to sacrifice the cat. And yes, in this type of sacrifice, the cat, we will lose the cat forever. But there's a reason why. Yeah, let's give it to the stoat, shall we? And this is a really interesting way to thing. So the ability of the card you sacrifice has been transferred to one of your other cards. So now our stoat can be sacrificed without it dying, just like the cat, but unlike the cat, it actually has better stats. And there are all kinds of fun things you can do to mix and match your creatures that way. Behold my totem. It inscribes my canine cards with the airborne sigil. So what these totems here do is there are different classes of cards. In this case, canine is one of the classes of cards. And it gives them all a sigil buff. In this case, the airborne. So it basically makes all his wolves fly. He's completely insane. You see that, right? No care for the rules. Pathetic, really. Only keeps me around to watch me suffer. Alright, so he's played a coyote and a bat. Like I said, they play by their own rules. They don't need to worry about sacrifices. You'll never see him play a squirrel. But we gotta deal with these things. So I think we're gonna go... Might tap into that other emergency squirrel here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squirrel, sack the squirrel, lay down the stoat, take our another emergency squirrel, lay it down, sack the stoat, who won't actually die, and the squirrel. I'm going to put you over here, because if I put it here, this coyote's going to kill the wolf when he comes in to attack, and that would be a waste. So I'll let the coyote hit me for 2, and then I can ambush the coyote once he's in place. Probably with my other wolf. Alright, just knocked him for 4, but I'm going to get hit for 4 back here. Oh, actually, yeah, the coyote wouldn't have killed the wolf, because he would have flown over the wolf. Derp. Alright, let's grab a squirrel. Then we're going to sack our stoat and that squirrel. Hit the coyote here. And then we should kill both of them. Boom, boom. And deal 3 unopposed. There's a wolf cub. Let's draw a card. River snapper. Not worth the extra sacrifice, so we'll just end our turn. Bink, bink, bink. Totem goes away. Yeah, those totem fights, those symbols means that he gets a random totem. So yeah, this up here is more like what the random maps look like. There are lots of divergent paths where you get to pick which things, but it's more of an either-or choice. That's what you're more going to get used to. So another cat, which is interesting. That would give us 2 freebie sacrificers. Another wolf. We already have a ton of wolves. Or a sparrow. I think I'm going to take another... Yeah, I don't really like the flies. I'm going to take another cat. I like the econ of it. And I also like these things over here. These cards. So, do I want the cub or the cat? Do I want to slap another singleton on here? What are my choices of putting... Yeah, everything else is a twofer, except for the wolf cub. I could put the cat's ability on the wolf cub. So if we put the wolf cub up there, and then put the cat on it... Now we have a wolf cub that gets bigger, and also can be sacrificed without dying. Alright, we got a couple of things on here. There's a way out for both of us. It's somewhere in this foul cabin. Be silent, I will tear you to shreds. So yeah, our dealer buddy is aware that the other card's talking to us. That's a grizzly bear. I think this is like the unwinnable fight that we come across here. Because whatever's placed in here, that grizzly bear is going to maul, but it's also going to maul, if we leave it unopposed, it's going to maul for like 4 points of damage directly. And we don't have any more emergency squirrels. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pass. I don't want to sacrifice my squirrel down here. I could just speed bump it, but then I lose out on the econ. So we're just going to let the grizzly hit us for 4. And there's another grizzly. But now we'll have a little bit more econ. Whether or not that's going to do anything good for us, I probably doubt it. Oops. Yeah, I think this is the fight you are purposely meant to lose, because even with our wolf getting a strike, he's not going to take out that grizzly. And then that other grizzly is going to maul our stoat. And with no other sacrifices, yeah, we can take a squirrel. There's not much we can do. Yeah, this is the fight you're meant to lose. I'm just going to let it end. Because they want to teach you about what happens when you lose a fight. Using this as a learning opportunity may be the only way to mitigate my disappointment. Get up. Get up from the table. Yes, you can actually get up from the table. There's actually a room here besides the playing surface. It wants us to get the candle. Bring it here. Now sit back down. Very well. Let me explain something to you. That was one of the 2 mistakes you can make here. If you make another, I must sacrifice you. Now, where were we? So basically you have 2 lives. Well, in random card or random card. Both of these symbols do the same thing. We'll go here. Alright, an elk. The mighty elk, it moves after attacking. So it moves sideways. Also has good stats. The sparrow, again, not too excited. And then another wolf. I'm going to go with the elk. It's got a good attack and has some defensive stats. We hit the pack symbol again, so we get to refill some of our items. Its bleeding yields 3 blood if you can ignore the bleating. So yes, sacrificial goat. This is, I wonder if this is an homage to Dark Ritual, the old magic card where you pay 1 and you get 3. If you deem it necessary, you may cut up one of my cards. So choose one. I don't actually have any creatures that have a 3 summoning cost. I could also get another squirrel in the bottle. That's equivalent to a, yeah. But cutting up a card's pretty good too. I'll take the scissors. Gust from this may lift your creatures for a turn, or a squirrel in the bottle. I'm going to take another squirrel in the bottle. Yeah, basically you get to refill your items to 3, so don't be too shy about that. Alright, first boss. Trees seemed to close in around you as a chill mist descended. In the distance you could hear the clinking of metal on stone. Hobbled figures stood in your path. Yeehaw! 'Twas the prospector! Alright, so, I can tell you from my past experience, you want to kill the pack mule. And actually the stoat will tell you that if we had drawn him. We didn't draw him, so he's not here to tell us. Yeah, I think we're gonna go... Yeah, if we go squirrel here, and we go wolf cub, because we want to kill that pack mule. Now I could squirrel in a bottle and go for there, but I'm gonna play it slow here, and I'll take the 2 damage from the coyote, because we're gonna deal 1 damage. Alright, so our wolf cub turned into a full-grown wolf. He still has that sacrifice ability, so we can keep sacking him, and he won't die. But now he's gonna be hitting that mule for 3. Another incoming wolf cub, so... yeah, let's take the squirrel. And we will sack the wolf and the squirrel, kill this coyote. We'll let the wolf cub hit us for 1. We can take that damage, right? Yeah, we got room. Alright, so the mule is, let's see, he's doing the prospector again. Easy, boss. The mule's key. Thank you, Stoat. So now we can sack the wolf, play... And we'll kill the wolf cub before it grows up. We'll kill the mule and hit him for 3. And the key to that is you get a whole butt-ton of cards for free by killing that pack mule. Dag-nabbit, my mule! Alright, that took out my wolf. It should have actually done splash damage to the back, but they haven't introduced excess damage yet. We want the stinky skunk, or no, we just want something that can swing for 1, like this. Well, the sparrow isn't going to attack it. Actually, what's our yeah, we have a little bit of a lead on them. Let's grab another squirrel here. We need to do 4 damage. We're gonna do 4 damage to take him out. So we don't actually need to play anything. Now that only kills 1 of his candles. He's got an extra life here as part of this boss fight. I hope you didn't think it would be that easy. So now, after his first life, the scale resets, and now he gets to play his special ability. In this case, the Prospector instantly kills all of your units that are on the field and replaces them with gold nuggets. But luckily we get another turn before his units attack, so we can do something about that. Let's draw a card. It's another elk. I wish this skunk had 1 attack power on it, because otherwise I can't really kill that coyote, because I can't get 2 squirrels down. And if I put the sparrow down, the sparrow's just going to get smacked. Well, I might as well put the sparrow down. Do 1 damage to them. Could just cut up the coyote, but that seems a bit excessive. Yeah, if I put this... Well, actually, the skunk will delay the coyote for a little bit. Won't do any damage, but it'll act as a blocker. This stink ability, also you can just right-click these things, makes them lose a power, so he's only going to do 1 damage to the coyote, or to the skunk. So it's going to take him a while to whittle his way through here. So yeah, that way we can keep our life total protected, give us more time to draw more cards, end the turn. Bloodhound here, but he has to go through the Bloodhound. Now I have a little bit more room. So I need something that can do... I need one of my wolves here. River Snapper. I could sack the skunk to drop a wolf. That's actually very viable here. Yeah, the coyote's going to hit us for 2, but then we kill the Bloodhound. We do have a wolf left. Good. Boom. Alright, Adder is going to kill that, but that's fine, because I want them to kill the gold nuggets to give me more room to play. Alright, we're out of actual cards to draw. If I play the sparrow, it's just going to get smacked. So I'm going to wait a turn, let the coyote hit me again, let the adder clear us some space, and then we can get a 2 for a creature to hit back. And the wolf is going to make sure that the scales don't tip too far against me. Perfect. Alright, let's draw another squirrel. Now we need something to hit both of these. Adder will kill my... Well, Adder, if the Adder hits me, it only does 1 damage. This poison death touch doesn't do anything extra if it makes it through. So I'm okay with the Adder giving me a smack. So we're going to do squirrel and squirrel. We're going to sack that. We could sack it for an elk would do, a river snapper would do. Honestly, either would do. Elk's probably the smarter move. Go for here. Dang it. There goes that coyote. And now we can start racking up some damage. Now the elk wanted to move to the right, but the wolf was in the way, so the elk kind of had to stay put. Alright, so now actually we don't have to deal with the adder. We have 4 more points, and we're going to get 4 damage unopposed through. So I'm just going to end the turn. That's all you need to do, is just pay attention to how much you have left, because you don't always have to deal with the creatures on the board if you can take out the your opponent. So after you win a boss battle, you get both of your candles relit. So you're allowed to lose once per chapter. You're the first in a while to overcome a boss. As a reward, you're granted an opportunity to select a rare card. Yes, you get rares after boss fights. So let's see what we got here. Strange larva. Yeah, this is one of those things that it's like the Caterpie. Like, it goes through a couple of evolutions before it becomes good, but you gotta wait a while. Not a big fan of it. Takes too long. That thing is a 7/7, but it costs 4 sacrifices. But we have 2 cards that are specifically good at being sacrificed, so this might actually be a good take, because 7/7 is no joke. And then the Gek. Now the Gek is actually pretty good. We don't have much to support it. It's a creature with a power that costs no sacrifice. Those are actually kind of rare. Most things that have any sort of power require at least some sort of cost. But being that we have 2 sacrifice critters, I'm gonna go with the 7/7. Because we might legitimately be able to play it. The sound of the prospector's pickaxe ringing in your ears, you carried onwards. Rank smell of rot and mold permeated the humid air. Every step forward was answered by some nearby slip or slither. You tread cautiously into the wetlands. This map looks more like a properly randomly generated. I think the initial map for the initial game is seeded, but now this looks like a proper random thing where you get mutually exclusive paths here. As mentioned before, I do like me this thing here, so we're going to go this direction so we can hit that. And since we're looking for sigils to sacrifice, I'm going to be picking these creatures probably in mind with what sigils they have. The elusive otter. It submerges itself during my turn, which means it can't get hit back by the enemy creature, but it pops up to do its damage. So it's evasive. It's good. But it also doesn't protect you. Another river snapper. We have 2 of those. And another wolf cub. I do like this because this works on anything. It doesn't have to be a cub card if we sacrifice that. The evasion for the otter is also tempting, but yeah, let's go wolf cub. I like the wolf cub. Alright, so what can we sacrifice? We can sacrifice the elk to get the movement, but this power is more of an annoyance than it is anything. So we're going to sack the wolf cub. Now, what would stand well to inherit the crow 1 per turn? The river snapper actually would be really good, because not only does it have the health to stick around, but that would also double its health, becoming basically when you have a card that gets this symbol that's normally not supposed to have it, it basically gets +1/+1 after a turn, which is not bad, especially for the river snapper, because a 2/7 is a lot more fearsome than a 1/6 by an order of magnitude. So we're gonna give that to the river snapper. Goodbye, wolf cub. Alright, next battle. Alright, wolf cub with the sacrifice wolf cub. We could go emergency squirrel. He's got 2 kingfishers. These things are both flying and submerged, so they basically you can never really hit them. But they're only 1/1, so they can't really hit you back too hard anyway. So we're gonna squirrel. We will wolf cub. I mean, I can put it here. It's not really gonna do anything. I could squirrel in a bottle to get something out sooner. Yeah, since these things are going to be pecking away at me next turn, why don't I? Again, don't be shy about using your items, because you'll come across those things to use them. So, wolf cub, squirrel. We'll put you here. Alright. So that's 4. We could, if you get 5 damage that you can play in one turn, you can kill your opponent before they can do anything. I've done that before. In fact, we're going to get that, because we're going to be doing 6 damage, because these two are now underwater, so they don't act as blockers, which in this case is a bad thing for our opponent. I probably shouldn't have spent that squirrel, but that's okay. How brutal of you. You dealt me more damage than you needed to win. That's what this bowl here is for. However, in my game, such feats are rewarded. To be precise, a tooth to keep each extra damage. The trapper may be interested in your spoil. So there's an encounter up ahead that rewards you for having excess damage built up. Now, I like our thingy up here. I like another sacrifice. So let's go over here. Now this is another game card square, but this one's a little bit different. You must make a different type of choice now. Choose not a specific beast, but decide the cost you wish to play. So we could take a 1 blood, a 2 blood, or a 3 blood. And since we were so good at sacrificing stuff, I'm going to go for the 3 blood. I'm okay with having expensive stuff here. The Moose Buck. Regal Moose. Creatures of the wild. Make way for it. So this thing is like basically an elk, but stronger, and it moves things around. What were you expecting? That being said, I'm not too big of a fan of the sigil here. And I do want to still make the sacrifice here. I know we just got the buck, but let's pass the buck, because it's better than the elks, which these two basically do the same thing. The only thing is, if there's something in its way, the moose buck will move it. But neither is not particularly useful. This is probably a bad draw on this part. And yeah, you know what? I'll sack the buck. What do we want to give it? We could give it to the big McLarge huge here. Doesn't do anything bad to it. Or just give it to a random wolf. Now let's give it to the big guy. Alright, battle time. Howdy, Mr. Stoat. Alright, so we got both of our sack engines online, which is actually fantastic. We can get started here nice and early. Alright, we'll play a squirrel. The bee's going to fly over us, so yeah, that works fine either way. I'm going to play the wolf cub here, because it will turn into a wolf and more quickly take down that tree stump. We will then sack the wolf cub, play our stoat here, who will be able to take out the bee after it attacks. And then these two both get sacked for our elk. This is why we play the expensive creatures. Alright, bee flies over us, hits us for 1, our wolf grows up. Yeah, let's draw. Wolf. Okay. We don't actually have any room for it right now. So I'm just going to leave it in my hand for now and just kill the bee, kill the stump, hit him for 2. Alright, we're going to hit him for 5, and yeah, that should be fine. We'll have enough here. Draw another card. Yeah, we're only 1 away anyway, so we just pass the turn, hit him for 5, and call it a victory. You were stopped along the way by a trapper looking to liquidate his pelts. There's something uncanny about his appearance, but you were quickly distracted by his wares. Care to look at me pelts? Take a pelt free of charge. See the quality? So now we can buy additional pelts here for extra, well, teeth here. Since we can afford it, I'll take a golden pelt. Now, the other thing you need to be careful of, these are cards added to your deck. These are just sort of like free blockers. They cost no sacrifice, but they also don't have any power, and you can't sacrifice them. They are objects, not creatures. So be careful about overloading your deck with these pelts. That being said, the freebie plus the golden is a good thing. You're leaving already. Please consider me pelts. I have. Thanks for your business. Man assured you of the value of the pelts. They appear to be useless in a fight, but he mentioned that the trader further down the path would reward you for them. And that is correct. Alright, more sacrifice. Well, the only creature we have in our pack that can be sacrificed is the damn elk. Which is not useful. And there's another sacrifice down here after we have a chance to draw something. So let's go down this path. Ooh, the black goat in a bottle is really good. I'll take that. You can't, it doesn't become part of your deck, so we can't like use that to sacrifice it, but it's still useful in a pinch. Alright, though, so this is the fight against a random totem here. Birds that can block flying. Ah, we have our big guy here. Alright, so 2 kingfishers plus the coyote. Coyote's going to hit the grand fur. That's unfortunate because I really want to play that here. Because we're not going to be able to touch the 2 kingfishers. But we are going to need to start dealing some damage. Yeah, actually, next turn we can play the big guy. With the black goat. So I'm going to start off with the squirrel and the stoat. Do that here so we can start racking up damage. Bink. The birds are going to hit us. And then go evasive. Now I wonder if I'll be able to hit the sparrow or not. Yeah, so we're going to take another squirrel. Or do I want to throw down an elk and slow play this? Let's slow play this. So we sack the stoat and the squirrel. We'll play you there so we get some damage built on there. Bink bink. Now the elk moves, unfortunately. Okay. Let's draw a card. A rabbit pelt. See, this is what I'm talking about. We can use it as a speed bump. We can absolutely use it as a speed bump. Let's throw it there. We just can't sack it, unfortunately. Alright. Another card. Wolf. Okay. We'll do 3 to him. And he's going to deal 1, 2... 3, 4 to us if we don't do anything. So we'll stay alive. I'm okay with that. Fortunately, the elk is going to hit that freaking stump again. And actually, I don't want it to kill the stump. So let's draw another card. Another freaking golden pelt. Alright, so yeah, you know what? Let's bring out the big guy. We will Black goat. Sack you. And then bring out the big guy by sacking the goat. And we can slap the big guy here to kill a coyote. Now just seeing here, yeah, we're still going to get hit for 2, but we'll hit back for 1, so we'll be good. Did I neglect to mention overkill damage? Oh yeah, I forgot about overkill. So the elk dealt 1 damage to this, and then that 1 extra damage that had left over hit the thing behind it. So this damage is not wasted. Carries over to the card behind it. Does not carry over to the opponent. Lucky for you. So yeah, we killed both of those things. And yeah, that guy moved us over here because of that shove ability. Another wolf. We should be fine here because we're gonna hit. We should win off of this. Bink, bink, bink. Ding, 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 ding. All that unopposed damage. All right, now let's find something good to sacrifice. River otter's not bad. Oh, the mantis. Dual strike. Instead of hitting the card in front of them, it deals damage to the left and the right. I love transferring that sigil around. Ooh, and the beehive. Every time it gets smacked, you get a free bee in your hand. It's basically a 1/1 flyer that you can play for free every time that thing gets smacked. Put this on like the river snapper and ooh. But no, the mantis. The mantis. The mantis. Absolutely the mantis. Now let's go to a sacrifice station. The other nice thing about this thing is it helps keep your deck a little on the thinner side. Because it does net reduce your cards by 1. Alright, what do we want to put dual strike on? The elk is an interesting one, but I kind of want to do it on the wolf. That's just a lot of damage. That's 6 damage total. So we'll give it to a wolf to dual strike. That's what we're talking about. Next boss. Thump. My boss battles are high stakes of tests of your aptitude. With 1 flame, you'll either overcome them or die. So yeah, even if you show up and make it with 2 flames, they will extinguish one of them. However, he will let us keep the smoke, which is actually a card that you get as a reward for making it to a boss battle with both of your flames. It's an extra creature you can sacrifice. A foul smell invaded your nostrils and caused your throat to seize. A hulking man sat by a brackish pond with his feet submerged in the dark water. He pulled a hook out of a pile of rotting fish and rose to his feet. I am the angler. Go fish. Okay, wolf cub here. Alright, so he's just going to hit us with this kingfisher. That don't bother me. That don't bother me at all. We want the wolf cub down early. And yeah, you can sacrifice the smoke. So we can get a twofer out of this here. This unfortunately is not our double striking wolf, or this would be a quick battle. So yeah, let's play our squirrel. We play our wolf cub. Yeah, we can play you here. We play our smoke. We sacrifice. We might as well play the wolf proper. And bang it. Actually, I should have played the river snapper. Which fish? Hard choose. So he's actually going to steal one of my cards. If we don't do anything about that. I'll take another squirrel. Because we almost have him done with his first life. Yeah. And that will interrupt his steal action here. So we'll play a squirrel. Fresher fish. So yeah, when you play a new card, he switches over to stealing that. But we're still going to sack it and take him out. New fish, easy choice. But we get to do our attacks first, and that's going to take him out before he gets to steal. Thump. Too fast, too soon. Oh, I guess I'm not supposed to get this far. I'm not supposed to get this far on the first battle. They all turned into grizzlies. This is not a normal feature of the boss battle. I would like to report. Oh, God. So here's a funny thing. Man, if I had that dual striking wolf, we might actually be able to kill him anyway. Let's cut up this grizzly so we can do 3 damage to him. Unfortunately, these other grizzlies are gonna retaliate here. Keep me alive. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen, my friend. I wonder if I can actually kill him. Probably not. No. Yeah, we can't do it. We can use this thing to do 1 extra point of damage, but that's going to be 1 short of what we needed to kill him, despite this emergency. You're not supposed to do this well on the first try. Oh yeah, you want to see what that does? Let's get officially 1 away from victory. You remember that the points of damage are represented by teeth. So we just pulled out our own tooth to get another thing on here. But unfortunately, we are still 1 damage away from... Oh, that's really kind of funny. Or if we had that Uraka there and we did that, we could have probably beaten this whole "you're not supposed to do this well" mode. Ding, 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 ding. So yeah, normally the boss does not do that. The boss is a little bit more fair. Tricky! The second phase is pretty tricky, but not like that, where they get a bunch of grizzly bears. Now here comes another rather interesting part of the game when you die. Because this is a roguelike. You're meant to die and then try again. You aren't dead yet. This isn't purgatory. Though you may think of it that way. Before you expire, let me ask you a favor. Like a memento. Your very own death card. Quite plain at the moment, isn't it? We'll work together to amend that. I want this to be perfect memento for you. Some cards from your mediocre deck. You can put them to good use. Please choose a card to draw the cost from. So how much? So we are going to make a custom card. So what do we want it to cost? Well, I'd like that custom card to cost 0. So yeah, the golden pelt costs 0. Cost of free from the golden pelt. Oh my god, it gave me the power and health from this guy! To add another, this time I'll use its power and health. The numbers. 7 power and 7 health for 0 cost. And what sigil do we want to give it? Oh god. We could make it get even stronger. But I think we're just going to do... Well, do we want it to get the free sacrifices? Yeah, I kind of do, actually. Sigil of Fledging and Sigil... Oh, it gets both of them! It gets the growth plus the many lives sigil. So it gets bigger and we can sack it for free. So we just made a stupidly overpowered card. that will show up on future rounds. Now, I got really, really stupidly lucky with this card. As far as I can tell, this card will not show up on other people's games, but I could be wrong. Like, if you're Steam friends with someone, don't quote me on that. I do not want to be accused of spreading false rumors. But yeah, that would be really cool, because yeah, then you could be friends with me and get this overpowered monstrosity of a card. I'm going to screenshot this thing. Make sure I get a one with better lighting, since the things... There's but one bit of final matter. The portrait. Say cheese! You do not need to smile. And that, my friends, was a round of Inscryption. So, if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent, your feedback is always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar signing out. See ya.